So while I was gone, apparently Gearbox released a roadmap for Risk of Rain 2. They're going to save Risk of Rain 2, thumbnail face here. And they released a bug update, and we're just going to be going over and reacting to the future of Risk of Rain 2. Hope it's good. There's going to be timestamps and description, blah, blah, whatever.
Hello everyone, I'm Jonathan, and I'm thrilled to announce that I'm back on the Risk of Rain team as our community manager.
That's already huge news, by the way. John, aka 17 Uncles, used to be the old community manager when Hopu was running things. So we're going to be going back to the old era. And it looks like, you know, Gearbox trying to make amends, I guess. Try to fix things, I suppose. Hopefully this all looks good. I don't know yet. So here's what the roadmap looks like. Phase 1, items and elites. Phase 2, Fall Sun boss. And Phase 3, survivors. I should do this in a British voice. It would make the presentation a lot better. And bug fixing at the bottom. I'm assuming that's just going to be as bugs come up, they're going to try to squash them as much as possible. Anyway, Phase 1, items and elites. So obviously, elites need a huge rework right now. They're just not good. Gilded are okay-ish. They're still terrible, but they're better than Twisted. Like, you got to compare them to Twisted. Twisted are unworkable. I play on PC, and I have a mod that removes Twisted from the pool. I don't even play against them. That's how bad they are. So this is good. Also, the items themselves do need some love. Most of them are broken, and the ones that aren't broken, well, kind of suck. Hold on.
Stages, survivor skins, and
survivor skins, and Sailstar. That is hilarious. So the stages, which people like, that was pretty. Shout out Nuxlar for giving him the idea. And what is the game? Elden Ring for being what they ripped off. I'm just playing Gearbox. I love you. But it's just hilarious that they're like, oh yeah, the skins, the stages, and Sailstar. Sailstar. Everyone loves Sailstar.
The feedback that everyone has sent so far has been a huge help. It's already shaping the coming design updates and is helping us get a better grasp of the bugs we're still facing.
Oh god. Oh god, don't listen to all the feedback. Some of the feedback I'm hearing is really stupid. Don't do it, Gearbox. Don't make the mistake. Listen, sometimes you gotta ignore the community. Alright? Sometimes you have to.
Apart from Sailstar, all the new items are being changed. In some cases, like with Sonorous Whispers, the items could simply use a tweak or a rebalance. For others, the old uses were somewhat limited.
Okay.
So they've been completely redesigned.
Okay, come on, guy. Don't be scrapping the antler shields. Okay, so antler shield, chance to reflect incoming damage, elusive antlers. Oh, they're giving it the fresh meat treatment. For those who don't know, bison steak used to be fresh meat. And what it was it would give you +1 or something like that health regen for every kill for 3 seconds, I think. And it wouldn't stack, so you could only get like maximum 3 regen for every stack or something. It was a bad item, admittedly. It was a pretty bad item. So they changed it to bison steak, and now it just gives flat HP. Still a bad item, but better. And with the false sun being included in the game, now bison steak actually has a use, and it's pretty good. So for this, Antler Shield, chance to reflect incoming damage, turns into elusive antlers, increases movement speed, spawns orbs of energy that gives increasing movement speed boost and temporary barrier. Don't like this, personally. I know a lot of people are probably going to be like, Antler Shield good. Listen, you go from chance to reflect incoming damage, all right, niche item with interesting mechanics, I guess, to increases movement speed. Spawns orbs of energy that gives increasing movement speed boosts and temporary barrier. So it's just, what is it? It's going to be like Monster Teeth for movement speed. Okay. Or something like that. Anyway, long story short, we go from an item that there's no other item like this in the game. There's no item that's going to give you a chance to reflect incoming damage. There's Razor Wire, but that's not, they're not even remotely close. This even had a proc coefficient. Anyway, long story short, Antler Shield was a cool, unique item, and it gets morphed and turned into just a movement speed item, which kind of sucks to me, in my opinion. In my opinion. I know a lot of people are like, oh yeah, they should change this entirely or do something like this. But the core idea behind this item is now gone. Erased from history. And this was one of the things I was hoping they wouldn't do, but yeah.
Items to feel more transformational, Make
More
the new items
transformational.
fit into the existing build synergies better.
More synergies.
Make some particularly weak items more powerful.
Buff weakest items.
Re-establish a better balance in the item pool between
Rebalance the
defensive,
item pool.
movement, and damage items.
Okay, I thought there was going to be more here. Just based off of this part, this little blank space on the screen. You really tricked me with that one. But anyway, let's see what let's see what they've got going on here. Okay, Sail Star not being touched. They already said that. Sail Star, my beloved. Then we got the balance and tweaks, the significant changes, and the full rework. Things here could still change. This is just our plan right now. This looks a lot like my tier list, Lamau. I'm not going to go over every item here. If you really want to know what each item does, what all the other items, what's good about them, etc., you can check out my tier list video. Let's see here. So Chronic Expansion, really good item. Check out my Chronic Expansion video if you want to know why, but it's broken. It's just kind of bugged. So these items right here, I think most of these balance and tweaks, I think all of these are fine. Growth Nectar probably needs to be reworked a little bit. Like balance and tweaks doesn't, this is a very niche item. It's Chrono Bobble on steroids. Electro Boomerang, very bugged, needs fixed. Prayer Beads is bugged, but it only needs like a simple fix. It's like a math thing in the back end. Seed of Life, this is bugged. If you're in multiplayer with Bottle Chaos, actually, I don't even know if it's bugged, but with Bottle Chaos and in multiplayer, you can just revive your friends constantly as long as you have enough. Warped Echo, this is bugged. For Eclipse, you get more, you take more damage in the curse. You also have that not out of combat thing with the shields. This item just sucks. What's it called? I don't even know. Runic Lens is good. It's actually a very strong item. So don't know what they're going to be significantly changing here. They don't say anything about the effects, but they should do something with the Meteor because it is not very... I'm always confused whether or not it's working, but it is working. It's a good item, but hard to tell. Longstanding Solitude, broken item. Check out my Longstanding Solitude videos. Okay? God runs all over the place. Longstanding Solitude is broken. I don't know what they mean by significant changes. Probably not a full rework, all right? It's not in full rework section, so it's probably going to still do the same thing or something similar, I assume. But they might just fix soft locking on Aurelian Knight's thing or something like that. I have no idea. Yeah, I don't know. All of these, that makes sense. The more transformational and power synergies buff weakest item pool, or buff weakest items and then rebalance item pool. Okay, so more transformational, don't know what they mean by that. More like, wait, let me listen.
To feel more transformational, make the new items fit into the existing build synergies better, make some particularly weak items more powerful, and re-establish a better balance in the item pool between defensive, movement, and damage items.
Oh, okay. Defensive, movement, and offensive, I guess. More transformational. I don't really... you don't need that many transformational items. There should be a couple. There should only be a few items where you're like, oh my god, this game changes entirely. So I don't know about this. I don't know about more transformational. And power synergies. I don't know. For using the elusive antlers, you already take away a synergy, which is like... So, I mean, rebalancing the item pool and empowering synergies, you already removed that by the one little preview we saw. Are there multiple previews? I wonder. But just based off of the elusive antler change alone, Antler Shield 2 elusive antler, I'm going to tell you that we're already messing up the item pool and empowering synergies. Okay? We just lost a defensive item. Actually, it's technically not even defensive, but you could have made it a defensive item. And removing that synergy, we're just making it do movement speed. Really? Like that doesn't empower synergies. I'm trying to think. There's not really power synergies. There are a lot of items with synergies. Warped Echo, for example, there are synergies there, but people don't like the item. Noxious Thorn. Like these three items together are already synergistic. Yeah, I don't know. Let's just say I'm an Antler Shield to elusive antler change hater, okay? Big hater.
With the Gilding Twisted Elites to give players a chance to dodge that incoming damage. Gilded Elites are quite healthy when a Twisted Elites to give players a chance to dodge that incoming damage.
Okay, well, looks like...
Gilded Elites are...
So, instead of you just taking the damage, it looks like it's gonna send it out in a ball at you. That's at least better. So you don't just die across it. So for the Twisted Elites, if you hit, they have a little bubble. It's kind of like the invisible ones, but instead of being invisible inside the bubble, all the enemies that you hit inside that bubble deal damage to you. It's like 2% of your HP, max HP, by the way. There's no counterplay to it other than being invulnerable, which, wow, nice. So it's good that they're fixing this. So these are all changes that I've been begging for, and this is amazing. Clarifying boss abilities, no more attacking through walls. This is huge. This is very annoying. Redistribute pillars. This is also very annoying. Maybe we don't need quite so many golems. This is also a complaint I have. It's a lesser one because it feels silly to complain about, but there are just way too many golems. And you're also dealing with the stuff on the ground falling every now and then. It's just too much. There's just way too much going on. I'm overstimulated, okay? And then rebalance the encounter. That's nice.
We'll have more getting a lot of attention.
Chef, let's go!
Chef will be a lot more powerful and feel a lot more streamlined. So while we're rebuilding his kit to be more elegant, we also want to buff him overall. All of Chef's abilities are being revisited, but the two that stick out the most are Chef's primary and secondary, Dice and Seer.
Right.
With Dice, we want to allow players to throw cleavers with reckless abandon like Chefs of yore. With Seer, we're making sure the ability is more agile so that you can quickly use it and move on with your culinary adventures. The full sun should feel like...
Yeah, current chef sucks. He's terrible. He doesn't feel... He's not good to play. Like, he's not a good character. And he doesn't feel fun to play because his M1 and his Seer. Both terrible. Yeah, he could use a lot of work. Seer is just terrible to use. I almost never use it, even though people are like, why aren't you using Seer? It feels terrible. It doesn't do that much damage. Yeah, bad. But good they're touching him.
Feel like an
AO pause.
A lot of focus will be making lunar spikes and
He's really
Laser of
good.
the Father feel more impactful.
Make lunar spikes and Laser of the Father feel more impactful. They're already really impactful. So I don't know how they're going to make it any better. Oh, wait. Laser of the Father needs more. No, this is the wrong one. This is the first one that's kind of broken. It needs to be more impactful. No, that one's too strong. Please do something about laser burst.
Among the three, Seeker seems to be a clear favorite.
Yep.
While she's receiving...
Well, I don't know if she's a favorite. Maybe they have stats in the background or something. People like the Seeker, and she looks clean. She plays well. She's strong. Like basically broken, but yeah. So she's definitely the strongest one out of the three.
Some changes, they're more targeted than the other survivors.
Right.
Overall, we want to increase the value of her tranquility stacks, so each one should be more impactful.
Thank God.
We're also keen on bringing the resurrection capabilities she delivers in multiplayer back to single player. We'll let the team keep making improvements as we go through these phases, and we'll give you more details later. And that's what we have for you today.
Oh my God, I just discovered something that I can do in YouTube. If you hold down the mouse, look at this.
Also keen on bringing
It's
the
2
resurrection
X's.
capabilities she delivers in multiplayer
That's cool.
back to single player.
Adapt resurrection to single player. Ooh, okay, so she's going to be even stronger. Okay, so the reason that they changed the tranquility stacks is because tranquility, you don't get tranquility until you have all 7 stacks, I think. So you have to do it 7 times. And keep remembering to do it every single stage before you get the buff. And until then, you don't get any benefit from it. So it feels kind of bad. I mean, it doesn't really do anything for you. It heals you a little bit, so it's nice to have. Like just doing tranquility, but it feels weird that you don't get any value from stacks themselves. Also, once you use up your little thing, right now it's just essentially a power elixir when you're at max stacks. So if you fall below 25% HP, it'll heal you. Once you do that, you're not able to get full tranquility stacks anymore, so you lose the stats for the remainder of the stage, which also feels bad. So I don't know if they're going to change that with the resurrection as well, but also the fact that it now is going to be able to resurrect you? Really? She's going to be even stronger? She was already one of the strongest, if not the actual strongest.
We'll let the team keep making improvements as we go through these phases, and we'll give you more details later. And that's what we have for you today. This is a huge undertaking, but
wait a minute. I don't know if anyone noticed this.
For giving us the time to put together a holistic plan. We know that you're eager to see what's in store, and we can't...
He has a shield. I don't know if this is like a hint that there's something else going on, but they have a shield on. Shields suck on the False Sun because it doesn't count towards growth stacks. And if you have a Transcendence, it doesn't do it. Obviously, he doesn't have Transcendence because it goes away if you look. So that makes me think that it is a shield and it's not like a hidden mechanic. But why do you got a shield on, huh? Huh? What are you doing? Okay. In the update notes. Okay, so here are my thoughts on the video itself. So the video and the roadmap. So it looks like, okay, from an items and survivors standpoint, all right, if we look through here. So items and elites and survivors, it looks like this is kind of a problem. It looks like what they're going to be doing is just making everything better. Like everything's just going to be better. So we're power creeping everything. Which, I mean, I can't really blame them. It's not really, I mean, it is kind of Gearbox's fault, all right? You're the adults here, all right? You got to tell the children that no, they can't have candy for dinner, all right? You get vegetables. The vegetables being antler shield. But listen, you can't just buff everything. You can't just buff everything. Some items have to suck just to appreciate. You know what I mean? Like Deathmark exists. That item doesn't do anything until you have multiple stacks. Pocket ICBM exists. It doesn't do anything until you get other items. There are items that are just like not that good. So it's okay for them to stink. It's okay for them to be niche. Right? Like specifically, again, I'm going to harp on the antler shield. Like this item could be better if they just improve the stacking. Like the way that it worked right now, where it's like a 50% chance to do 10% damage, that's really bad. Those numbers are just bad. You could have just changed the numbers. You didn't need to do this. And it would have been like a C tier item or something like that. Very niche, and then it could have been even better on other survivors. But changing this to a movement speed item makes me think that, yeah, they're just going to be going through here and being like, okay, what do people want? Oh, Noxious Thorn? Why don't we just add 50% damage to this? Like, you just do 50% more damage or something like that. War Bonds. Oh, you can just buy the entire stage or something goofy like that. Okay, listen. We don't need to eat candy for dinner. It sounds good on paper, but you're going to get sick. All right, children? Some of these items need to stink. Anyway, the survivors definitely make me think they're just going to be buffing things. So obviously Chef needs a full rework, or not full rework. He needs his abilities like kind of reworked in how they work and bug fixed, and you know, some TLC. All right, he just needs some TLC. He definitely needs buffed, especially his dice this year, which they're doing. That's fine. I'm fine with that. That's not even like an over buffing situation. He just stinks. He's one of the worst survivors.
Overall kit.
False Sun. He's an S tier survivor. I think I did a character tier list. You can go check that out. But he's definitely S tier. Like one of the best survivors in the game. He's brain dead. You don't really have to think. And the fact that they make Lunar Spikes and Laser of the Father more impactful. These two things are already impactful. They're already very strong. So I don't know what they mean by this. Again, please touch Laser Burst. I don't know what they mean by this, but if they're just going to be improving all of the abilities on the False Sun, he's going to be even stronger. The Seeker. Seeker is one of the strongest. Again, another S-tier survivor. She might be even stronger than the False Sun because she has invulnerability. She has permanent invulnerability with just a couple items. Very easy to do. You get increased stats. You have a heal on your thing. She's really good. She's already really strong. So the fact that they're going to be making Tranquility stacks even better. The fact that they're going to be adding Resurrection to single player so you can revive yourself. So it feels like, my personal opinion, they are just buffing everything. So everything's going to feel good like it's a sugar high. So people are going to be like, yeah, wow, I love this update. Every item is good. Wow. Every single item I pick up is amazing. Wow. This game's kind of easy now. That's what it feels like. But I don't know. We haven't seen the changes yet. Maybe they're going to change some of these and they're all going to stink. And I'll be like, oh, I'll eat my words. And maybe the survivor changes won't be that good. And I'll be like, oh, okay. Don't know. But yeah, that's just my opinion. And the boss changes, phase 2. Where's this at? False Sun boss changes. These are all changes that need to happen anyway. So I'm glad that they're doing this. This is just, all of these need to happen. The boss fight is kind of bad right now. But yeah. And the chef change. Amazing. Roadmap. Blah, 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 blah. I think that's it. The bug fixes. Let's see here. Play reported issue. Spawn rates of elites being too high after stage 2. That's true. Visual void thing would not reappear. False Sun. Charge attack. Oh, this is funny. Yeah, it's False Sun. If people didn't know this, if you had high enough attack speed, you would no longer be able to use your charge. Like, you wouldn't be able to swing too fast. It's kind of weird, but yeah. Resolved an issue. Players reported were applying bleed with Noxious Thorns would make monsters turn on each other and ignore the player. Oh, oh, they nerfed Noxious Thorn. That was the one good use of this item now that I was talking about earlier. Yeah, okay. Well, Noxious Thorn nerfed in the bug fix patch. RIP. Just another reported issue with Noxious Thorn where it would not correctly apply a +1 stack of another active debuff is sometimes it only been applying its bleed stack. Oh, wait, buffed. Whoa. Wait, it works now? Okay, I'm going to go try that out. Wow. Okay, so anyway, I think that's about it. There's not really much to say. This is a cool little roadmap to have. There's not really much to say about this because we don't know too much information. The only item that we have to look at is Antler Shield. And this is, oh, I cannot believe they did this. Oh, this was my fear. This is what I was begging them not to do. Do not change antler shield. This is cool, okay? Cool item. I like interesting items. We don't all need movement speed items. I think this is good. I think the community should. If you have thoughts and feelings about things in this update, you should voice them. Not really much else to say. Anyway, that's about it. Swag Money 69 signing out.